Well, greetings and good morning. Introduction to Business students. This is Mr.D. This is week number 9 in our 18-week course on business here at Chaffey College. And this week you're going to be looking at Chapter 7, Designing Organizational Structures. This is where we get into like org charts and how you structure your manufacturing facility, how you structure your accountability within a company, whether you use the line and staff organization, whether you use the matrix organization. So there's multiple ways in which you can organize your business internally. Now, this is different than what we learned in earlier chapters about forming a business and whether being a sole proprietor or a corporation, et cetera. That's your kind of your taxation and what you look like before the government and before the entities like banks, et cetera. This is more the internal organizations of what you would do within a business. And these are very important because it just depends on the kind of business you have, but it can certainly be more efficient if you have it operated and organized in certain ways. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And this week we're going to be looking at, again, Chapter 7. So here we are. Let me see if I'm sharing. I'm not sharing. So let me go back to Zoom and share. And then there we go. All right. So now you should see our homepage in Canvas, and we are in module number 3 starting today. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. This means that we're at the halfway point in our class, and we have 9 more weeks to go, which the last week, of course, will be finals. But here we are looking at Chapter 7. So again, read the chapter, and here you can read it right here in Canvas just by selecting each folder and reading, and then clicking the next button. You have a PowerPoint as well. And as we move down here, here's your coursework for this week. It's pretty simple. You have check-in assignment, Chapter 7. You have a homework assignment on corporate culture assessment. So this is where you're going to basically visit a company and observe their culture. Try and grasp what you can about how employees interact with one another. And so there's a question, write a summary of what you've observed about that organizational culture. And so make sure you've researched or looked up in your book the section where it describes corporate culture. And then when you go in to visit that business, just describe what you saw. How did the employees interact? How did they treat the customers? How did they treat you? What was the general environment? Was it clean? Was it dirty? And the idea here is to see if you can kind of identify what's the culture of that particular company. And certainly some companies really set out to have a culture that reflects their values. Not every company does, but those that do tend to be a little more successful. And so the idea is for you to understand that there is a culture in every business, and you have the ability to affect and change that culture if you want to as a leader. And so then you have your discussion post number 3, which is a really great video by Simon Sinek. It's really the foundation of his book called Why, if you've ever seen it. And it's his TED Talk that he gave describing how leaders inspire action. And it really comes down to, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And people buy into the why. And that's what sells. That's what marketing is all about. So it's really kind of the foundation of marketing. But we'll get to marketing in a couple more weeks. And then you have a quiz on Chapter 7. So that's the week's worth of work. Make sure you read the chapter. And good news, next week is spring break. So there'll be no video, but I oftentimes will extend the due dates through spring break, but I try not to at first because I want to make sure that you get everything done before spring break and then actually take a week off and enjoy it. So, but for some reason you've gotten behind, if some reason you're struggling with some things or whatever, take advantage of the spring break to catch up and make up some of those past assignments that you may have missed that are still open. The only assignment I close is the check-in assignment, but everything else is pretty much still open, and you can go back and retake it or redo it or do it if you've missed it. So anyway, that's it for this week, week number 9. Have a great week, everybody. Have a great and exciting and fun spring break, and I look forward to seeing you all when you get back. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always available via text or email, and if we need to, I'll set up a Zoom session with you to help you out. But have a great week, everybody. Great spring break. See you soon.